Greetings, peace be with you. So I want to start this video with a quote. The purpose of life is to recreate yourself anew in the next golden moment of now, in the next grandest version of the greatest vision ever you held about who you really are. So this quote is from a spiritual mentor of mine, Neale Donald Walsch, and I really want you to let this marinate in your mind and let it sink in as we go throughout the rest of this video, because by the end of this video, you will discover the only way to know what your true life purpose is. Okay, not think that it is something, not hope that it's something, right? Not believe that it's something, but to know in your heart of hearts that you are truly living in alignment with what it is that you are here to do. Now, with that being said, welcome to the third preview video of the upcoming Monk Mode Challenge. I'm so excited for this, and reading your previous comments on the previous two videos, seeing that we're really creating this community over here of action takers. You are committing to the actions that you're taking after watching these videos. These videos are not just something you're consuming and keeping all this information in the head, but you are writing it down in terms of with the comments. And I'm so joyed. It makes my heart sing to see that you are actually committing to changing not only your behaviors, but your values and the way that you are going about your everyday life. Okay, so truly, I appreciate each and every single one of you that have checked out the previous videos, and more importantly, left your action step that you're taking at the end of it. Now, if you have not checked out the previous two videos, I will link out to them below. Make sure that you do so, because they really set the foundation for what we will be diving into right now. Okay, now the Monk Mode Challenge, like I said, is going to be a 30-day journey of self-illumination, giving you the daily missions. Okay, coming together in a community so that we can hold each other accountable, hold each other to a higher standard, and really follow through with the implementation steps every single day that allow us to not only get mental clarity in our lives, but allow us to create consistency. Okay, consistency is the mother of mastery. As we master that momentum and we carry on with that over the long term, then we truly create transformation in our lives. And that is why I'm so excited to get the Monk Mode Challenge out to you tomorrow. Now, the focus of today's video, like I said, is the only way to know your true life purpose. Okay? Because when I was at an earlier part of my journey, I remember that I was stuck in a situation of, like I shared with you in the previous videos, of destructive behavior patterns, right? Knowing that they are not serving me, but helpless in terms of breaking out of them and continuing to relapse on these behaviors. Maybe 1 week I would stop, maybe 2 weeks I would stop, but eventually I would give into the temptations again and again and again. And I knew that I had this vision of being a strong, grounded, capable man that is actually worthy of providing value to not only the people around me, but to the society in general, to the community in general, to humanity in general. And I had these grand ambitions, but it was that my behaviors didn't match them. And therefore, I developed a negative relationship with myself. And then when I got started on the personal development journey, yes, I was consuming a lot of information and I was gathering it all in my head, but it was very difficult for me to actually implement that because I did not know what my purpose is, right? And at the time I started creating an online business, an affiliate marketing business. It was generating a couple $1,000s per month. And I was like, okay, that's pretty decent for me to go and live out in Far East Asia. So I planned a trip to go and backpack around Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, all of these countries, right? So I spent like 4 months backpacking because I thought that I needed to find my purpose, right? I thought I needed to find myself. So I went out there traveling 4 months, and don't get me wrong, it was an epic experience. I connected with so many people from so many different parts of the world, really sleeping in hostels, exploring new landscapes, and all of that was amazing. But at the end of 4 months, I was like, what is the point of all of this, right? Because what I had given into was hedonism. What is hedonism? It is the belief that the only purpose of life is pleasure, right? Just drinking every single day, chasing girls every single day, eating like shit, barely sleeping. And at the end of 4 months, I'm like, that just became the new normal for me. And I'm like, is this all that I thought was supposed to be my life? Like, oh, if I have the money, I'm just going to travel the world. And I did that for like 4 months, not the world, but Far East Asia to a large extent. And by the end of it, I just felt empty, even emptier than I was before. Because before I thought that if I got the money, that I would travel. Then if I traveled, I would feel good about myself. And I did. But at the end of it, I was like, this is not fulfilling. This is something that was pleasurable, yes. But at the end of it, I just feel even emptier. Why emptier? Because at the beginning, I thought that if I had the money, if I had the travel, I'll feel good. And now that I had this stuff, I was hopeless. And I didn't even know what I was going to do moving forward. So I came back home and I was even lost, even more lost than I was before. Yes, I was generating income. Yes, I had these travel experiences, but I didn't know my purpose. And that is when I came across the work of Viktor Frankl, who wrote a book called Man's Search for Meaning. And this book really gave me that shift, okay? Because towards the end of it, in his philosophy of logotherapy, Viktor Frankl shares that it is not us that have the privilege of asking the question, what is the purpose of life, right? So many of us ask, what's the purpose of life? What's the purpose of my life? We are not the ones who have that privilege, right? Viktor Frankl shares with us. He says that it is life that is asking us that question, and we are giving the answer through our behaviors, our thoughts, and our emotions, right? We are giving that answer through who we are being in every single moment. And that was like a light bulb moment for me. I'm like, I have been giving in to the temptations of society, thinking that, you know, it's all about the pleasure. It's all about feeling good. And at the expense of that feeling good in the moment, in the long term, I just felt empty, depressed, hollow inside. And that was like a major shift for me. I'm like, okay, I can choose my life purpose right now. And it's not me who's asking the question. So really let this sink in, because so many guys are like, I don't know what my life purpose is. And then they're spending their time playing video games. They're spending their time watching Netflix. They're spending their time, you know, engaging in habits that don't serve them. And what this means is that if you are not consciously living in alignment with a certain purpose that you have determined for yourself, then you are living in alignment with another purpose, with an ulterior agenda that has been specifically engineered to hijack your attention and suck out your energy. Okay? This is the reality, that if you do not know your purpose, if you're not living your purpose, right, you are living a purpose, which is not necessarily yours, right? And then I started learning about Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You've probably heard of this, right? Once our basic survival needs are met, like shelter, like food, like water, like relationships, like self-esteem, that at the very top of the pyramid is that of self-actualization, okay? Now, what I want you to understand is that the purpose of life for all of us is the same. And that purpose is self-actualization, okay? What Abraham Maslow said is what one can be, one must be, okay? Your purpose, my purpose, all of our purpose is to close the gap between who we are and who we are capable of being, right? As we strive to close that gap, as we show up as our best, most capable selves, that is when we begin to get the signals, aka the emotions, that we are walking our path and purpose in our life. Okay, self-actualization, right? To become and actualize what we are capable of being, to become in actuality what we are in potentiality. Now, this is a bit of a catch-22, because the more that you are, the more that you can be, and the more that you can be, the more you have yet to become, and it goes on and on. So your potential is literally limitless. So what Abraham Maslow actually added to the top of his pyramid, let's take a pyramid like that, and then at the very top, which he added towards the end of his life, was that of self-transcendence, okay? He said that self-actualization can only arise as a byproduct of self-transcendence, when we give ourselves to something bigger than ourselves, okay? And that is the only way to know if you are living your true purpose, okay? Your true purpose is to close the gap between who you are and who you are capable of being, to cultivate your greatest gifts in greatest service to the world, so that you can transcend yourself, okay? The only way to know if you are living your true purpose in life is to ask yourself the question, are you serving your greatest gifts in greatest service to the world, right? Think and ask yourself this question with honesty, with compassion, and if the answer is no, then you know that you are not walking your authentic path and purpose in your life. The answer is yes, then you know that you are. Now understand, our purpose is the same, but the missions through which we fulfill this purpose will be different, right? Are you showing up as the best son? Are you showing up as the best father? Are you showing up as the best leader? Are you showing up as the best artist? Are you showing, right? We have all these different roles which require us to fulfill different missions, but the purpose is the same. The mission will be different, but the purpose is the same, right? So the real question is that if time and money were not an object, I know that they are, but let's run this thought experiment for me. If time and money were not an object, how would you serve humanity? Right? Ask yourself this question honestly, because when I asked myself this question, I was like, if I had all the money that I would ever need, right? Like, let's say I have $10 million in the bank. I've traveled, right? I did that as well. Like, I traveled to the point where I didn't want to travel anymore. I was like, I need some routine and ritual in my life right now. It's like, what would I be doing? I would be doing exactly what it is that I'm doing. Creating videos, sharing the content, sharing the ideas, engaging with the knowledge of mentors that have shared their greatest breakthroughs in life in their books, right? Reading, expanding my awareness, and creating videos. Yes, I would be doing it at a different scale, right? Yes, I would have a team in place that would follow me around and, have a professional studio and all of that. But the essence of what I'm doing is what I would be doing if time and money were not an object. And that is how you know whether you are walking your authentic path and purpose in your life. Okay, so that is a thought experiment for you to run through. And really that is the focus of the Monk Mode Challenge. Okay, empowering you with the daily exercises and daily missions and daily implementation guidelines that allow you to get clarity in terms of what that specific area of focus is for you. And once you have that clarity, developing the rituals. Once you have the rituals, developing the consistency. Once you have that consistency, empowering you with the tools that allow you to create that true lasting transformation over the long term, and really coming together in a community so that we can leverage the power of a mastermind and set our intention in the same direction and really create something in which the sum is greater than its parts. Okay, so the Monk Mode Challenge will be going live tomorrow. I am so excited for this because we will be opening for 4 days. Okay, 4 days, because on Monday we will all be going through this together. Like I said, when there is a group intention in place, it is just way more powerful than if we go on it on our own. Okay, so keep an eye out for this tomorrow. We will be going live, and like I said, it will be opening for 4 days. So keep an eye out on the YouTube channel. If you are on the email list as well, I will be sending out an email over there. And finally, call to action right now. Okay, if time and money were not an object, how would you serve humanity? Okay, leave a comment below letting me know. And if you do not know your answer to this question, you're like, I don't know what I would be doing if time and money were not an object, then write down 3 to 5 things that you would intend to experiment with. Okay, whether that's music, whether that's working in a creative career like marketing, or in media, or whatever it is. Okay, so first thing, write down how you would serve humanity if time and money were not an object, because realize that self-transcendence is what allows us to self-actualize. Okay, that's not me. That's Abraham Maslow saying that. That's Viktor Frankl saying that. The world's leading, model on human psychology and what drives our needs is Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? And he was also influenced by Viktor Frankl, who said that self-transcendence can only create self-actualization, right? Otherwise, it's impossible. So let me know in the comments below. I love hearing from you, and I love seeing that you are actually taking this action in your life, and reading the comment from the previous video as well. So leave that comment below. And if you do not know, if you are not clear on this answer, then write down 3 to 5 things that you intend to experiment with, so that you can, see what you are interested in, and then you can cultivate that interest into a passion, and then that passion eventually into your vocation. Okay, so leave a comment below letting me know, and keep an eye out for tomorrow when we will be going live with the Monk Mode Challenge. Okay, much love to each and every single one of you, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.